Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to Movie Chats. As you can see, I'm on my own, so brilliant. So I'm hoping we can get some people in today. But how's everybody doing? Hey Peter, hey Pat. Yeah, I'm bloody hell. I've just been chatting to Pat there. She said she's had a flu bug for 2 weeks. Bless you. I hope you get better soon. I've noticed since I got my diabetes that it takes me a lot longer to get over stuff. So. Um, I feel your pain there, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully you feel better soon. But yeah, so Steve is away on holiday, which is nice of him. It seems like he's always away. Um, but I got to about 6:30 today, and I was like, oh, it's all right. We've got movie chats tonight, but I'll have a chat with Steve and see what he can come up with for the show, sort of thing. And then I sat there and thought, hang on a second. He said last week he's not going to be here. He's on holiday. So I quickly ran upstairs, put the show together, and yeah, I completely forgot. But I'm going to go through some stuff tonight. I don't know if I can get through an hour and a half, but I'll see how I get on. Um, but yeah, so how's everybody been? My week, I've just first day off today. I've been in work for the last 4 days, otherwise. So my week's been pretty busy. Not got a lot really. We watched a few things this week. I've watched. I picked up last week. I was doing a bit of digging, and I picked up Psycho Collection 1 to 4. Only the DVDs because I thought I want to watch them because I'm a big Alfred Hitchcock fan, and you know I'd watched the first one loads of times. Got that on 4K. Um, but I'd never got round to watching any of the others. Now, obviously, Alfred Hitchcock never directed the others. I think he died by the time Psycho 2 came out because I think they had to get permission from his estate to do it. But yeah, so I picked up these because there's an expensive Arrow set, 4K Arrow set that I was umming and ahhing about, and I thought, well, I'll watch them first and see if they're any good. And then I'll decide whether I want to spend sort of 70, 80 quid on this set. Um, anyway, so I sat down and watched Psycho 2. Quite enjoyed it actually. Norman Bates gets released from hospital having been cured and all the rest of it, and then ends up going back to the hotel and living in the house. And this girl ends up staying with him. But yeah, he's pretty good, man. Actually, he's not too bad. I've heard the third and fourth aren't fantastic, but the second one definitely gets some praise. So I'm looking forward to watching the other two, just to see how we get on. But the second one's based like 20 years after the first one. Um, but he's a good actor, the guy that plays Norman Bates in this. What's it called again? Oh gosh, what is it called? Is it Martin Balsham? Is that I don't know. Anyway, it was quite enjoyable. It seemed quite long though. To be fair, I'm not sure what the runtime was on it. Um, but yeah, so that's sort of what I've been watching this week. We started watching The Apprentice again because that started. It'll be on tonight. That started last week. Lou really likes that, and then we've just been sat watching Love Island. She's a big fan of that as well. To be fair, I enjoyed it. It's not been too bad this year. Um, but yeah, so a few things I wanted to have a chat about. I've been doing getting some pickups and stuff. I wanted to show you. There's I've been looking at movies coming up, and obviously there's the new Ghostbusters one. I've been looking into that again, and that's I'm really looking forward to that now. But how's everybody else's week been? Mm. So I've been spending some money on whatnot recently, last couple of weeks. Um, and I managed to get this from Gary the Collector. I'm well chuffed at this. Uh, the Flintstones, the movie, Game Boy game. So I think it says 1993 on it. So I've been getting my getting my Game Boy out. So I'm ready to give that a go later on. That arrived today. Did you know that James Norton was one of the astronauts? The older brother. Oh, bloody hell. Hey, Peter, I'm sorry, mate. I know you messaged me the other day. I forgot to message you back. I do apologise. Last week we were talking about Planet of the Apes, and you said you had the TV show on DVD. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Peter. I don't mind people messaging me. That's not a problem. It's just I completely forgot to reply, so I do apologise about that. But yeah, I have. Let me just see if I can reach it. 1 second. I think it's up behind this guy here. No, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's up there. 1 second. If there's health and safety involved, I'm not standing on a chair. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, I've got the Planet of the Apes TV series. So it says complete TV series on 4 discs. It's not too bad, like I say. It's 1974, but it was a 2003 release. But yeah, I've watched that. I've got it downloaded as well. Hey, Kevin, hope you're well, buddy. I was just saying for those that have just turned up. Obviously, Steve's away on holiday this week, so I'm slumming it on my own. See how we get on. But what would you say? You said about. Did you know that who was one of the astronauts is the older brother of David Norton, who was in? No, I didn't know that, mate. To be fair, that's some good trivia. I didn't know that at all. Um, so yeah, as I was saying, I'd picked up some bits, some really good bits. But I picked up. I used some vouchers and picked up Insidious: The Last Key. I watched a few YouTubers recently that had said this was out of print now, so I think it's still about £10 on CEX at the minute. But with it being out of print, and obviously I have, I said to Steve the other week I wanted to collect them, so I've got 1, 2, and 3 there. So I picked up The Last Key, and then I went to the Newark CEX and picked up The Red Door. So I've not seen anything past, I think, maybe number 2. So I'm looking forward to giving them a watch because I wanted to try and get them, and then obviously I want to get the other stuff, the Conjuring Universe stuff. So I've got dribs and drabs of that as well. So I'm hoping to try and pick them up. But yeah, a couple of things I picked up. One of the things I picked up today was a movie called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Apparently it's like a horror thriller comedy satire thing. But it's from the A24 studio, which a lot of that stuff that I've watched recently I've really enjoyed. So I know it's quite a how do I put it? A lot of the films that they bring out are sort of ahead of the time with A24. Obviously, well, it did start out as a distribution thing, and then they've got their own studio now. So I need to have a look into it because I've bought loads, and I've got a funny feeling that I've got quite a few of the A24s because this isn't really that obvious. It just says it on the back, like in the smallest fucking writing ever. That it's A24. One I found in a charity shop, which it was only like a quid or something, but I picked it up. Was Much to do about nothing. Much ado about nothing. This is a 2013 release, but it was only like a quid or something, so I picked that up. Some of the other stuff I got, I picked up another copy, steelbook wise, of Skyfall. I've got the steelbook already of it, but again, it was from a charity shop, so I think I paid about 50p for this. But it's got all the cards and everything in it, so I'm going to just switch it over with the one I've got. Plus, it's in better condition than the one I've got anyway. Another thing I picked up was the this is really nice actually, the Avengers 3 movie collection. So this has Avengers Assemble, Age of Ultron, and Infinity War on. But this is like a really nice set. But the reason I got this one was because I've got the really hard cardboard as well. I've got the Endgame in 4K anyway. So, like I say, it opens up. It's massive. I can do it, I will do. But then look at this on this side. It's mental. That's really cool, isn't it? Obviously, some of the better movies before it started going a bit downhill. But yeah, I love that, man. Look at them. Look at that. So yeah, they're going in the collection with the End Game. This one I bought it on DVD a while back, and I've not actually watched it, but I found it in a charity shop again, so I picked it up, which is Hunt for the Wilder People. This is well, the reason one of the reasons I picked it up is it's got Taika Waititi in. It's got quite a big cast. It's got the kid from was it Logan in it as well, and what's he called, Sam Neill as well. From Taika Waititi, the director of What We Do in the Shadows. So it's worth it. It must be worth a watch if they're involved in it. A couple of others I picked up. Oh God, I picked up Case 39. Now I like Renee. Well, I can't pronounce her name now. Renee Zellweger. But this was like a couple of quid in a charity shop. But it's also got Bradley Cooper in. So I'm going to give that a go because I don't think I've ever watched it. And that I'd gone to the CX for that bodies. Because what I do is I'll have a quick look at the Newark CEX when I'm dropping off little man for school. So when I'm sat outside his school waiting to go in, I'll just scroll through the app and just see if there's anything there, because obviously that's where we take him to school. So I can just pop over and have a quick look. So it just gives me a little bit more scope when it comes to picking up stuff from CEX. But when I popped to pick them up. I popped into one of the charity shops, British Art Foundation, I think it was. I'd picked up the Halloween set from there the other week. Anyway, I popped in and they had Touch of Frost, series 1 to 5, 1 to 15, sorry. Now I've never seen this, but obviously I'm a big David Jason fan. So I wanted to pick this up, but they'd reduced it from like I think 20 to 15. So I've picked that whole set up, which will go nicely with the collection. It says, what does it say on it? It says 29 discs, 66 hours worth of Frost. So we'll see how we get on with that one. But yeah, I've gone into the CEX and it looks like somebody's brought in their steelbooks for X-Men. I think that's because the X-Men, there's been some offers recently on X-Men 4Ks, I think, maybe, steelbooks. So I got these relatively cheap, but I thought they were just really cool. So I picked up a couple of them. There was a couple of them in there that were damaged, but I picked up these ones. So I picked up X-Men First Class in steelbook, which I enjoyed this movie. I wasn't looking forward to it because I got used to the characters in the first one, or the first trilogy. So when they said they were doing that, I was like, I don't really fancy that. But I was pleasantly surprised. So I picked that up. I got these two here. I'll do it in the order that I like them. I'll do. So this one is The Last Stand. So look at that. That's really cool. Really cool. Except the camera's not doing it much justice. But yeah, only £4. But yeah, I picked that one up. And these literally were for the aesthetics of them, buying them because they look good. Honestly, because I've already got them. But again, same again with this one. This is X-Men 2. This is like my favourite one, this one. It's really, really nice blue on it. Really nice. Probably my favourite of the three movies, actually, I think. But look at that on the back. That's really cool. So I'm going to need to order some more steelbook protectors because I want to put those ones in there as well. But yeah, those were the things I'd picked up there. And then this is really cool. It's Some people in the chat will know about him, some people won't. But I saw this in a charity shop, and there's absolutely no way I was leaving it. I've since had a look to try and find something on eBay or somewhere like that to try and figure out if it's vintage or not. I'm not 100% sure, but it was my size, so I'm having it. I will just move back a little bit so you can see it a bit more. It is Timmy Mallet Wackaday, all over print. You see him on the side there. How cool is that? But it doesn't seem to be single stitch. I can't see a label on it apart from a basic label inside. Well, it's been made in the UK, but it's a medium. I'll say medium. It's a bit bigger than a medium. It's just a basic label. Hey, Dave. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. So that was definitely one of my finds of the week. Was this Timmy Mallet Wackaday T-shirt. But let me know what you think. If you remember him, if you don't remember him, you're missing out. This is another thing. I've been to one of the charity shops last week, and I was they let me have a look through the DVDs and stuff, and I noticed a box of toys. I say toys, figures, and I said to him, "Can I have a look at it? Have a look what's in there?" Because I'm always on the hunt for like vintage figures and stuff, that sort of thing. And they're like, "Well, what are you thinking?" I was like, "Well, what do you want? Do you want to?" They were like, "Do you want to buy it all?" And I was like, "Well, what are you thinking with that then?" And it was a box full, and they were like, "Oh well, you can have the whole lot for £8." So I was like, "Right, fine." I'm not even arguing. I didn't even have a look at it, but I'd noticed a couple of Halo figures in it, so I wanted to have a look at those. So obviously you've got the Halo vehicle. Steve will know more than I will about that. Um, I'm not massively up on Halo, but I'll just show you a few things that's in here, because there's loads. There's absolutely mental. For anybody that wants to just pause it or out later on, you can have a look. But there's loads of figures. So you've got like these things here, these guys. This guy does come with a helmet. It's in there somewhere. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not massively up on them. They do come with all the sort of accessories, and then you've got stands, bases, stuff like that. There was a few surprises in here. So there's somebody's collection of Fortnite figures. There's loads of them. So there's loads of different Fortnite figures in here. This dude, big shoulders. And then there's these things, which actually I found out what these were, but I've forgot the name of them now. But they're these weird figures. And then there's this little thing that goes with them as well. I'll find her. I'll show you. There's a little one that comes. Oh, there's another one there. But if you can remember what it is, let me know. But otherwise, I'll just research them again. But there's loads of different figures. One of the things I was quite surprised with, though, was when you get those figures in like Poundland, and they are cheap as you like. I don't know, action boy figure, or I say Action Man, but it's not Action Man. That sort of thing. Well, I figured that's what these were, but they're not. So these guys here, if I can show you up close, it'll let it focus. So these guys all here, they're quite cheap. I say cheap, let me do what everybody else does. See if that works. There we go. So just these basic figure things here. But they're actually Resident Evil. And I was quite surprised at that, because there's loads of them. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the box just yet. But there's between the Fortnite figures, something Polly. I think these are from Polly something or something Polly. The Halo figures. I mean, just here he is, the man himself. I think. But for £8, I was definitely not turning that down. This guy looks pretty cool. But yeah, so I got that. What did I get? I think I said last week. This annoyed me. So I picked up a vintage pencil case for um, Tom and Tweety. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it is no, yeah. Can't remember. I'd found this in a charity shop. Sonic Hedgehog the movie, and I was like, I'd usually say I'll pick these up for Leo to watch, but I was definitely going to have this myself. And then I got home and realised it was empty. Now I think the trading on this was about 10 or 15 quid, so I was a bit gutted because I might have traded it in if it would have been that much. Sylvester and Tweety, thank you, Dave. My God, I don't know why I couldn't figure that one out. But yeah, there's a few bits I've got. This honestly, this week I've just spent a fortune on stuff. I went into the charity shop, the main charity shop I go into. I was just about to walk out actually, and somebody donated some of their collection. So I ended up picking up all of this lot. So quite a few seasons of The Simpsons because I'd like to try and get as many of them as I can. There's probably about 35 seasons now, but 6th, 5th, 10th, 12th. That's pretty cool. 11th. Oh, sorry, that's the 10th. The other one was something else. It was the 13th, I think. 9th, 8th, and 7th. So they're relatively older ones, but I've got a few in the collection, so I wanted to try and get a few more. But I'd said to him, do me a deal, because I also got Family Guy 14 and season 13. And he was like, yeah, £5. I was like, right, I'll have them. I think they've stopped doing the Simpsons DVDs. 19 was the last one. Oh, really, Dave? Okay, that's interesting. Because the thing is that I know there's loads of seasons, but I want to get all of Family Guy. I've got all of Rick and Morty so far. Family Guy, Simpsons, and American Dad. I wouldn't mind getting. But what's the other one? Do me head in now. It'll come to me in a minute. But I want to just have the collections of them, because you never know when we talk about sort of streaming media. You never know when these things are going to disappear off a certain streaming thing. Hey Lana, now then. Yes, Lana, I was explaining to the guys, I completely forgot about Steve not being on tonight up until about 6:30. And then I was like, oh, sugar. So I had to run upstairs, put a stream together. But it's my fault. So I'm just going to go through some bits tonight. Have a chat. If anybody wants to pop on at some point, we can do. And see how we get on. But yeah, let's. I know they're on all the time on TV, but I wanted to try and get the collections. Oh, that was the other thing. South Park. That's what I was going to say. So I've got quite a few of them, but I know you can buy them in bigger box sets now. So you can buy them in, like, as an example, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 10 to 15, and 16 to 21 or to 20 or whatever it is. But I want to pick them up, I think, and get them in the collection. But yeah, so let me just have a drink of my drink. It's been a bit of a busy week when it comes to the collecting side of it. I've got quite a few bits that I've picked up. put in the collection. This one. I've got I thought you were going to say Futurama. No, I've got well, I'll say I've got all the Futuramas. I think they did they do another season recently? But I have got Futurama. Where is it? Ah, yes. There it is. Oh shit. So I've got the season 1 to 8, the Futurama. Oh, I picked them up there. I don't know if I mentioned them. Some friends, vintage cups. These are from 1998. So I'm a bit of a sucker for vintage cups, as you're aware. So I picked them up the other day. What do I want them to do? I managed to get one of the Jurassic Worlds. I just needed the 3D version now to put it into that set that I bought with the missing discs. So this one that I bought with the missing discs in them, I've managed to. There was only like £1 for the Jurassic World, so that's now in there. I just need the Jurassic World 3D, which again I think is about £1.50. So I'll find that somewhere and pick it up. But I keep checking the charity shops because obviously there was that many of them sold that there must be around somewhere. I bought Phantasm V on Blu-ray this week and had to get it from Germany. Really? I've got a Phantasm set somewhere. Is that a new one then? I'm not familiar with how many there is of them, to be honest. But I have got the Phantasm set. Yeah, I've got the set of them, haven't I? Oh, yeah, there they are. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 5? Hey, Lynn, hope you're well. Big Steve's left me all on my own tonight, so I'm trying to entertain the crowd. So I do appreciate everybody being here today. It really does mean a lot. But yeah, as I was saying, I've been purchasing some stuff from Whatnot. So we got some stuff last night, so that'll be winging its way to us from Gary the Collector. But one of them I picked up. I want to say the Q Fig, but they are an alien and Ripley in that mechanical thing, and they go together. I forget what the word of the thing that she's in, but they go together, and it looks really awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting that and displaying it. But there has been a few bits that we've picked up that should be winging their way to us. There we go. They're picked up, so they should be winging their way to us this week. But yeah, let me have a look. How is everybody? Let me just put the link in the chat if anybody wants to pop on. It's not a problem. I've copied it. Just put that in there. But yeah, if you feel free to pop in. Oh, one of the things I forgot to show you at Christmas, actually, I did do a video to put these stuff out, but I never managed to get it's when it comes to a thumbnail, I struggle doing the thumbnail, so it takes me either ages to do or I don't end up putting the thing out. But one of the things that came out in 19... Okay. Ravager. Yeah, that is the one in there. Yeah, it's the one in there. Ravager. It's that last one there. But I still need to watch them. one of my many things to watch. But yeah, so I'd sort of been angling at this for a couple of weeks before Christmas. Knowing my luck, typically this thing has gone down probably what 30, about 50, 60 quid since Lou got it for me. But she picked up the Superman set for me. Now the thing is that I'd been asking about it and saying, look, I really want this. The steelbooks look awesome on there. It was well packaged, I will say. Wherever she got it from, had a decent box. Problem is, although I said I'd liked it, I was umming and ahhing about it for months on end. So I ended up just going out and picking up the movies. So I do have 2 lots of 4K Superman, which is why that one's still sealed, because obviously I've got these ones to watch, or to use, and the other one's going to stay sealed for now. But yeah, but what all I've seen since Christmas is it going down and going down. I think it's like 100 quid on Zavvi or something, and then it's £20 off or something, somewhere like that it was. But yeah, typically the one that the one, well, I've got 2 now, but that sort of set, and it just keeps going down in bloody price. Bless her, but I am grateful for it, and it's definitely a set I wanted. So who remembers this program? Some really funny episodes of this, but I picked this up from a charity shop. How much did she charge me? £2.95. It's pristine, absolutely pristine. Whoever's had it has really looked after it. But I picked that up last week because obviously I remember watching them. I remember the episode where they divide the house into 2. That's really funny. Apparently they didn't like working together though for many of the years. But yeah, it's a good set. I'll tell you another thing as well. I'd seen a post yesterday, I think it was, or today. Yesterday maybe, on one of the movie groups. Somebody had actually got their thing graded of these. So obviously, as you're aware, I've got quite a few of these. I've got them from Chris. So I've got Terminator 2 ones. I've got Supergirl ones. The stickers and gum things. And I've got Turtle ones. They're pretty cool. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And a pack sticker of 8 glossy movie cards and 1 sticker of Hook. But somebody had actually gone and got theirs graded. I know they do that with cards quite a lot, but I was a bit like, would that even be worth it price wise? I would imagine grading is quite an expensive thing. I like Harry Hopper in Carry On Screaming. Yes, that is. I've got all the Carry On films as well. I do like Carry On films. I think my favourite is probably Carry On Camping, to be fair. Although I do remember seeing Carry On Columbus in the cinemas when that came out, because that was in the 90s, wasn't it? But yeah, I've since gone out and bought the Carry On complete set, and then Carry On Columbus is obviously, I'm guessing it's a different studio, because it was, the turnstile was the funniest thing in that. It was just brilliant, especially when they were like watching TV and they were pulling it through, and then only one of them could change the channel. But yeah, I was just saying, the the Carry On Columbus one I had to buy separately, which was quite expensive. I think it was about 15 quid, which for a DVD is pretty much, it is expensive. Couple of bits I'd picked up, again from Whatnot. This arrived this week. I think Gary did one of his streams with vintage figures, and he had he did have like 3 or 4 different ones of these, but this is um, Peter Pan from Hook. So this is obviously Robin Williams. Now I say Robin Williams, it looks absolutely nothing like him, right? But you know, but I wanted this when he said he mentioned it. That you dirty, dirty old man. Like, yeah, exactly. I don't think. Then this is the thing, Lin, is that a lot of these TV programs wouldn't come out nowadays, and they just wouldn't get released. They wouldn't get passed. I mean, that's a 12 for crying out loud. It's the certification on that is a 12. Mental, but it's such a great comedy. It really is. So yeah, so he was doing he had a job lot of stuff, and he ended up breaking them all down. But I picked up that because obviously of Robin Williams, and then I wish he'd done a bundle actually because it would have been bloody cheaper. I ended up getting a Captain Hook. So there's Captain Hook. There's 2 different versions of him. I don't know if anybody can help me in the chat because I'm trying to think of what this guy's name is. I can't remember. But do you remember him in Hook? I think he was a lot smaller, wasn't he? But one of the scenes he did roll up into a ball, and I remember him rolling down. But then one of my other favourite characters from that, and I know it's missing the sail, but I don't really care at this point, is Rufio. So I got the Rufio figure as well. So I'm getting quite a collection now of some of the vintage toys. I mean, I never had these when they came out, but obviously one of my favourite films and with my favourite actor in, so I had to pick some of them up. Put that down there. I do need to do a bit of moving around with the figures in here. I say toys, the collectibles, aren't they, Steve? As you know. But there's so many of these little figures that I'm picking up that are just from years ago. It's mental. But yeah, as regards to sort of TV shows coming out nowadays, I've got shelves and shelves of them that I know for well they wouldn't get released. A lot of the old TV shows would not at all. Um, that's mental. I think what would be pretty cool. I mean, I know they release like a newer spitting image, but like the original spitting image, I don't think they get away with nowadays either. Um, what else was quite controversial? Can you think of any TV programs, guys, that would definitely not make it to air today? I mean, would like One Foot in the Grave would that still come out, or would he have to be a different sort of character as well? Rising Damp, yeah, yeah, I've got that somewhere. Because there's also the rise and fall of Reginald Perry as well, isn't there? Reginald Perry, I'm sure that's the right word. That's the right name. Um, God, I definitely don't think Bottom. You should watch Mind Your Language. Okay, Love Thy Neighbor would never get released. Yeah, possibly. Um, what? I mean, I don't. Would Bottom? Do you think Bottom would? Perrin, thank you, Reginald Perrin. Thank you, Queenie. Hey, legend. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate that. We're gonna have to try and get together at some point again and have a night out because you're bloody hilarious. You're amazing. Uh, in sickness in health. Oh, absolutely. That would definitely not get released nowadays. That would definitely not get released. But again, do you think Bottom would get released nowadays? Till Death Does Part. Yeah, yeah. I nearly picked that up the other day. It was in one of the shops that I went in. You enjoying the time without Steve? It's very quiet without him. I'm not going to lie, Lana. I'm not used to getting a word in edgeways, but hopefully you two are having a lovely time. I can see. I bet the weather's really nice. Um, I bet it's glorious weather in North Wales right now. Is there snow there, Lana? I did say to Steve, I was like, Are you going anywhere, or are you outside?" Because I know it's like a place that you've gone like. I want to say it's like a Butlins thing, but it's not Butlins, is it? But he's like, I do everything on site, and then, well, he did. I'll tell the chat actually. He did message me that night and say to me that there's entertainment. Get this, guys. There's entertainment on this place to stay in, and live acts, stuff like that. and I'm hoping he's watching it, or he's going to watch it if he hasn't already. But there is a live act of songs from The Greatest Showman. So I genuinely reckon he's booked this just at the right time so that he could get to see that. Didn't they? Well, Jason, I think there was a bit of confusion with that one because Jason's put his didn't they ban Little Britain? Um, the answer to that is no, they didn't. I mean, the series 3 is pretty controversial. Let me just get rid of that. But no, all they did was they took it off. They said, "Oh, well, this is what they said. They took it off Netflix because the license had run out or whatever." Um, Realistically, they probably just took it off because of at the time there was, I want to say, cancel culture, but that's when it was sort of really at its hype on it. So I think they probably took that off for that reason. But they had come out and said that it was just purely because they'd run out of the contract had run out, so it left Netflix. Um, but then everybody went mental, and I should imagine most resellers made a killing on DVD copies of season 1 to 3 of Little Britain. I think they were going about 35, 40 quid plus. I think I saw some go as high as 50 quid. He lasted one song and didn't bother with the second night entertainment, as that was musical show tunes. Oh, Lana, honestly, I'm gutted. I said to him I wanted him to watch it and film some for us so that we could see the footage of him really enjoying it. I bet he was singing along. He's only doing it just to show off now. He's like, no, no, I don't like this stuff. And then he's got his headphones in, listening to The Greatest Showman. I know his type. Um, but it does beg the question. I mean, you talk like the young ones as well. I mean, I know they released it on Blu-ray not long ago. I mean, they're slowly releasing these programs now. I do need to tidy up in it. I feel like, I mean, night's life at the minute with the amount of stuff I've got around my feet. With his shed, let's get a couple out. We got, where is it? Young. Well, there's a few anyway. So obviously they've released the young ones recently, a year or so ago. So I'm quite surprised they did that. To be fair, don't mention the war, Faulty Towers. This one is a rare one. You don't see this very often. I've had this for years. I've also got about 6 copies of it on DVD because you just can't get hold of them. But every time I see them in a charity shop, I pick it up. But yeah, this is obviously a sort of a side program to Little Britain. I quite enjoy this really, and then obviously they brought out Blackadder recently. So I suppose they are still bringing them out, but I just don't know why we haven't seen a bottom set because that would sell really well, I think. I need to get into Reacher. I haven't watched Reacher yet. Watching Expats at the moment on Prime and enjoying it. I've heard Reacher's really good, but I've not got into it. But there is a few programs that we're trying to sort of catch up with. But the thing is that, as I said earlier on, love it or hate it, we've been watching Love Island because we've watched them for years. But that's only got a couple of weeks left on it, I think. And then we've just started the Apprentice started last week. My mum and dad go to Warner's. You must be the youngest couple there. It looks good, to be fair. And look, exactly, Queenie. This is what I was saying. I said this to him last week. I was like, "Is this like an old place?" I reckon he's gone to some sort of retirement home holiday site. I'm telling you that it's the only place he feels he's the youngest person there. I'm telling you. But yeah, I'd like yeah, what's that expats about, Linlin? Um, the there's so much content out there when it comes to Netflix and Amazon. I think it's really easy to miss stuff unless it goes like, I want to say viral, but that's the wrong word. But unless it gets really popular and sort of people mention it, there's just so much content being chucked out every month. It's quite easy to miss stuff. I mean, the other thing that's sort of when I'm watching stuff and it's like if I haven't seen it for a while, I completely forget. There's a lot of forgettable stuff on there. I mean, I won't forget things like Making a Murderer and that sort of program, documentary stuff. You know, but there's stuff on there that you watch it and then you forget you watched it. And there was an example the other week with that program with Michelle Keegan in. I'd watched it about 3 days before Steve asked me, and it just completely slipped my mind. I mean, it was all right, but we binge watched it and I watched it all. And Steve asked me if I'd seen it, and I was like, no, I don't think I have yet. And it was only when we got off the stream I was like, actually, I bloody sat there and watched it for about 6 hours or whatever the bloody thing was. The Bear is still the best. Really, I mean, that's something I've been meaning to get around to watching. To be fair, The Bear. I finished the first series of Percy Jackson on Disney Plus this week. It was good. I've never really got into the Percy Jackson stuff, so maybe I need to watch some of that. Hey Jeff, hope you're well. Welcome. The British dramas gave up being good watching Trigger Point after the flood. Yeah, I want to watch that. The flood after the flood. Um, that Trigger Point. Yeah, is that this? That's got the same actress in it from Line of Duty, in it. Because I loved Line of Duty, and I'm so waiting for him to bring out another one. But they're about 2 or 3 years apart each season, so I'm guessing that at some point it's going to be, they're gonna bring out another one. Well, they need to correct the ending of the last one. Really, me and my dad are binging House at the moment. Oh, I love House. Such a great program. I've got them on Blu-ray. The whole set. Such a good TV series. Hugh Laurie in it is amazing. Um, but yeah, you sort of need to try and get a list together of things to try and watch, and you then get the time to bloody do it. But there's so much content out there. I was going to watch I saw somebody put a stream up, a video up today. I seen it, ranking the. I think it was that Sean Chandler from America. He put a video up, or he has at some point in the last few weeks, about ranking the different streaming services because there's so many of them. Also did the whole lot of Lost. I never got to the end of Lost. I really enjoyed the first series. That first episode or so, when it was like the plane crash, the budget in that was immense. And I got through. I got through a good few seasons, but I think there was 5 seasons in total, weren't they? And I didn't I sort of lost it after series 3, I think. I just found that every episode was just an episode devoted to one character for a long time in that program. Nicole Kidman in it, based in China. Can't say too much about it. Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. You're not on the spoilers like to Big Steve then. I'll have a look at it. That expats then. A lot of people are talking about Trigger Point and After the Flood. Must put in my watch list. Fooled me once, dragged on, and was only okay for me. And this is it. And I watched. I mean, it's Michelle's Keegan, so I'm gonna watch the bloody thing, Queenie, 100%. I love her in the main Brassic. That's such a cool program. But yeah, I thought that as well. I mean, there was some big names in it. I mean, Joanna Lumley was awesome in it. But it just seemed like it could have been a lot. It could have been a few episodes shorter. The one takeaway from that is that the woman, Michelle Keegan, the character of hers, would just leave her kid with anybody at any point. But it was all over the show, that program. Um, but it's going to get. It's been heavily marketed on it, so it's going to get people watching it. Um, how are you doing, Jeff? How are you feeling? Hope everybody's well over here. I hope your partner's better. She was poorly the other week, wasn't she? Well, is there anything anybody's looking forward to when it comes to TV series? Anything that's due to drop? Because I don't. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be quite a while until we get a Stranger Things, isn't it? Is there another Boys this year? The Boys. I've got a feeling there's another one coming up this year. I really enjoyed that. Uh, put Finders Keepers on your watch list. It's on Channel 5 with Neil Morrissey. Okay. Okay. I definitely will have a look at that if it's Neil Morrissey. In fact, I'll make a note of it now. Do-do-do-do. Uh, uh, Party's on Amazon, on it. The Bear, I need to put on the list as well because I've been meaning to watch that for a while. Waiting for House of Dragon season 2. I still haven't got around to watching season 1. I need to finish off The Walking Dead because I've got 2 seasons of that to watch. Then I want to watch the spin-offs that have started coming out, like the Daryl spin-off and the other one that's come out. So many series and so little time. The Fast Show, would that come out today these days? There's one I've just noticed up there. The Fast Show. I wonder if that would come out these days. Mm. But yeah, I've got all of the Game of Thrones, and I've got House of Dragon as well. There, I need to watch it. I'm watching Finders Keepers. Really good. What did you say that was on? Finders Keepers. Oh, Channel 5, wasn't it? The Rick spin-off is coming out soon. That's the one I need to. I really want to see. Um, Obviously, I like Daryl and Rick anyway. But yeah, was it a Negan one that's come out? I tell you what, they're milking that cow, aren't they? Honestly, the amount of fucking series that have come off the back of that. Fear the Walking Dead's another one I'm starting collecting. I've got 3 seasons so far. But yeah, they're definitely milking that. Suit you, sir. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Lin Lin. Harry Enfield and Chums, and then the Fast Show. See, Harry Enfield and Chums, I loved that growing up. I've got Ruddy Hell. It's Harry and Paul. That's another one I've started collecting. I think that was just them two coming back after a while, wasn't it? It's frustrating that the Walking Dead spin-offs are not on any UK streaming services. It wouldn't surprise me, Jay. So that's the thing. They just, it's like we don't watch things over in this country. The amount of stuff. Fear the Walking Dead is good, but has fallen off the last couple of seasons. But you tend to find that with a lot of these programs, don't you? I mean, don't forget this is a spin-off from The Walking Dead, isn't it? So, like, there's only so much you can do, surely, with it not being the same repetitive thing. But anything for money, I suppose. That's why it's so good when you have these, especially tends to be like BBC dramas or ITV dramas that some sort of original content sort of thing. Um, so I mean, I got into like Line of Duty. I got into that probably 3 seasons in, and that was I just straight away I started watching that. I was really enjoying it. And it was really, really good up until the last couple of episodes of last season. But them sort of things are a lot more gripping, a lot more sort of intense than some of the stuff that they're bringing out in the state. Well, say in the states, but I meant like the big studios are bringing out. We've got a Squid Game season 2 this year. Is it? I'm looking forward to that if it's coming out. I keep seeing a couple of, I think they're fake trailers because they look like they've just been put together with a very very small clip, and then you just see things that I'm sure I've seen before. There's a lot of that on YouTube, a lot of sort of fake trailers and stuff. I mean, they're getting the watches on it, but it's so fucking annoying. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I've seen. I saw I think the first couple of seasons of it, and then I never got into it after that. But I still bought the box set because I wanted to. Because there's a few episodes and few seasons around. I think season 4 and 5 are apparently really good. So I'm definitely going to give it a go again. But yeah, it's a shame that I couldn't keep it going. The problem with me is that I like to binge watch things. Considering when I grew up, when we had to watch things once a week, I should be used to it. But I've got used to sort of binge watching stuff nowadays. So I'll tend to wait until a series is either released all at once, or save the episodes up and then watch them all together. But by the time you do that nowadays, there's another series of something else out. Yeah, and that's it. I got fooled by a Jason V Michael trailer. It's so annoying. It is so annoying because I mean the thing is that they've taken the dislike. Well, they've not taken the dislike button off, have they? But they've taken the number off, which is a bit of a bit of a shame, really, because I could always tell when I click on a trailer whether or not it was before I clicked on the trailer whether or not it was you know if it had a load of down thumbs, then I knew it was fake as hell. But nowadays it's just you just see like the green screen like you would usually do, something like that on a movie, and then by the time you're about 10 seconds into it, you're like, this isn't it, is it? Um, his Dark Materials is a good watch. It is. I've seen that in one of the. I'm sure I've seen that in one of the stores. What's that on though? Dark Material. If you know, just let me know, Linlin. But yeah, I got late into Umbrella Academy. I watched that the other week. I binge watched that and really enjoyed it. Um, but I know Steve and Lana had watched them ages ago. Um, but it's it's just catching up with all these different programs that people suggest, really. Um, but I am keeping an eye out for any trailers that are coming out for some of the stuff that I'm waiting for. I mean, I'd love it if they dropped a Stranger Things, but I think they've only just started filming it, um, if I remember rightly. Although I did see a post the other day about I think the title was "Who's Dying in season 5." So I'm hoping there's none of the main characters that are dying because I do quite like that. It's like the Back to the Future I fake trailer with Tom Holland. To be fair, he would make a good Marty. I mean, that is that is generally one of the films I wouldn't want them to touch. It wasn't BBC last year. All right, cool, thank you. I thought I'd seen that released actually somewhere, Lindley. But yeah, we talk about it quite a few times about like what films we want to see remade or what teams we'd want to see sequels for, and I think Back to the Future would be something that I wouldn't mind a sequel. Especially the way a lot of these are nowadays, where you've got older characters returning as like the relatives or whatever. But I genuinely wouldn't want them to try and remake it because it would make money, but it's just I don't think the longevity of it would be there. I think people would watch it just to be curious, and then after that they'd struggle to get anything out of a sequel or two with Back to the Future because it's so iconic. It's so difficult to recreate the sort of same buzz around it, I would imagine. It's just such a shame because the thing is that you watch these things and you forget how old these people are now. And could I see Doc coming back? Yeah, but then you see him on doing a show. Say a show. It was like a stage thing. I think it was like an awards or something. A couple of years ago, and he's so bless him. He's so old. He looks so bad. You wouldn't be seeing the same character, really. One sec.
Just warming up pizza.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Now, okay.
Yeah, no worries. Ah, got a brew. Look at that. But yeah, it's such a shame. Was it the perfect ending? Like number 3. You know, Doc goes off in the train with the kids and I say the missus, Clara Clayton. You know, and Marty goes off. You know, and the time machine's destroyed. Was that like the perfect ending to a trilogy? I don't know. I probably could. I could probably have enjoyed another one, maybe another movie. Where could they go though? Like the 60s, something like that. Yeah, that would have been all right. But anyway, so back to answer your question, to sort of to go on about the fake trailers. It's so bloody annoying. But they're not even good either. They're not massively convincing. You just see random clips from random movies, and the character that it's trying to say is on there looks completely different in about 6 or 7 different clips. Like completely different age, completely different hairstyle, completely different outfits. Like it's just mental, and you know after about 10 seconds that it's nothing. It's not even the right bloody trailer. So I tend to look at the ones where it says reaction to X trailer, and then I'll go and try and search the trailer and try and find the right one. But like I say, the one that's looking interesting for me is the Ghostbusters one. Chris sent a message to me and Steve yesterday. There's been plans for a new Jurassic Park movie in 2025. So I know Steve will be pleased with, but I enjoy them. I think I enjoyed the originals more than the sequels, but that'll be good to get another Jurassic Park. Is there any movies or TV shows then this year that anybody's looking forward to watching? I'll give you a minute while I try and get some sugar in me. While you're doing that, I'll just grab something down. I've just remembered. Chris sent me this the other week, which I'm chuffed about. So I got Mandalorian. Love this program. I'm hoping, because I never picked up the steelbook for the first series, unfortunately. So I'm hoping they release them soon in non-steelbook version. Hey Chris, I've still got the One Division on order. I think that's due at the end of this month, actually. The new Jurassic World has been greenlit. Yeah, the original cast will not be in it. All right, fair enough. But yeah, Chris, I was just showing off my Mandalorian that you generously sent to me, so I appreciate that, bud. I forgot to mention it the other week. But yeah, these Marvel releases that they announced in like September last year, when you had Loki series 1, the 2 Mandalorians, One Division, and I think there might have been one more, but they're all like 45 quid each, and most of them at the time were releasing at Christmas. I think the other one might have been Prey that I'm thinking of. But they were all releasing literally around Christmas, and no sod in the world that's got, you know, a normal job would be getting absolutely all of those at the same time at Christmas. So I picked the one that I wanted, which was the One Division one, and and then that got delayed until April, and it's now been pulled to. I say pulled; it's been brought forward to I think it's like the 28th of February or something, 26th of February. So I'm hoping the other ones get released on standard 4K, so that I can pick them up. Um, as soon as the Jurassic movies are mentioned, Chris magically appears. That's very true. He does. He's just like a sixth sense. But like I did credit him that he was the one that mentioned it in a little chat that me and Steve and Chris have. That this was announced. So I didn't claim to be the guru of knowledge on that one. That was all Chris that figured that one out. Um, but yeah, it's going to be good. I think another Jurassic Park movie. I was saying, Chris, I think Steve will be well chuffed because I know he's a big fan of, especially Jurassic World. He loves Jurassic World. Um, but yeah, so let's see this. So it's a. I did say if anybody mentions it in the chat, if there is any movies or TV shows that you're looking forward to being released this year. Um, One of the things I was looking at some stats the other day, and it was saying that like box office wise, like the decline, although there is still releases coming out, like at the main times of the year. Let's say like the last 2 or 3 years, there's been say 3 years ago there was 15 blockbuster movies released. The year after, I think it went down to about 10. Last year there was 6, and I think this year there's another 6 main blockbusters for like summertime. And Deadpool, yes, absolutely. New Planet of the Apes, yeah, absolutely. Cheers, Queenie, and Joker too, yeah. I'm not sure about Harley Quinn in Joker 2, but we'll see. We'll see. One sec. Apologise, guys, but I'm on my my eating because I took my insulin before the show, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, that's and how can I forget the Fall Guy? Okay, I need to have a look into that then. Is that a TV show or? Oh my god! Hang on, why do I know that? I know there was a film years ago, but I know that I've seen something recently about that. Oh, Ryan Gosling. Okay, and Emily Blunt. I like Ryan Gosling. He's a good actor. Okay, I'll have to watch that trailer when this is done. I wrote to Jimmy Fix It to meet the Fall Guy, Lee Majors. No way. Nice one, Queenie. Uh, but anyway, as I was saying, but they were going on about how although there's obviously still demand for the cinemas and people going and enjoying at the cinemas, movies at the cinemas, there's there is an obvious decline of like major hits um, for each year. But I think this year we're going to suffer because you've had the writers' strikes and the actors' strikes or whatever it was. So there's a lot less release this year than there will be hopefully next year. And also they could offer you. There was Gary Glitter. Mm. Oh yeah, and Beetlejuice too. That was one of the things I was looking for actually. And talk about fake trailers. I think it was Steve had mentioned to me on the last live. I'm sure it was. To say there was a trailer release for Beetlejuice 2. And I went round the bloody houses trying to find something, and I still didn't find it. Um, yeah, that was one of them I was looking for. That's what annoyed me the other day. But Planet of the Apes, really big fan of the last trilogy. I've got them on 4K, and and I like the originals. Joker 2. Um, I enjoyed the first one. I think a lot of people were disappointed that it wasn't what they thought it would be. But Joaquin Phoenix is amazing, so I'm sure it'll be a great movie. And obviously, Deadpool has managed to get Hugh Jackman on board for to play Wolverine. So I think that's going to be awesome. Um, Actually, I think you're right there. I think there's some big movies coming out. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. But we'll see. We'll see. See how they do. See, the thing is that Beetlejuice will be interesting because if I remember rightly, obviously you've got returning cast, um, and then you've got is it Jenny Ortega who's in it? Um, which she's done really well with Wednesday. So I'm hoping that it's good. But Michael Keaton should knock it out of the park anyway. I would imagine he's on another level. He is. Um, yeah. Is there anything that anybody else is waiting for to come out that want to bring it up? Sorry, guys, I'm just eating this. One of the colleagues at where we work made some cheese mushroom baguette things for my wife. So she's offer us, but as a thank you. So she's warmed some up for me. And to be fair, they're not bad actually. Would wait outside Granada Studios in Manchester collecting autographs from. No way. No way. I was watching. Was it Russell Brand? No, where Russell Brand? What was he? Was it Russell? Which Londoner? Mushrooms, cheese, and garlic in case. Oh yeah, that's the one. Um, is it Russell Brand? No. Oh, what's he called? I was watching a comedian earlier on. I forget what he's called. I don't mind. I've got him on bloody Facebook on one of his groups, and he was going on about he's obviously a southerner and he's married to a northerner, and he was going on about sort of how forward all us northerners are as opposed to sort of the southerners. I mean, in hysterics. But yeah, that's the sort of thing, isn't it? I mean, we as northerners we wouldn't think twice about going and pestering people for autographs constantly. I remember one of the funniest things my dad's ever done. Um, was we went out for a meal in Manchester as a family, and my mum and dad's best friends and a few other people. And my dad and his mate they popped to the toilet and they bumped into I want to say Paul Lake or someone like that. It was one of the original City players, and anyway, they'd said to him, "Look, do us a favour. Go when you come past, will you let on like you know us?" So we're all sat there, and next thing you know, he comes around. And goes, "All right, mate, how you doing?" Starts talking to him, and everybody at the table was just absolutely astounded that this sort of famous football player knew who my dad and his mate were, and they didn't let up on it. I think it was a few days before they told anybody what they'd done. Um, but can you imagine actually just never mind approaching somebody, but approaching somebody like on the way to the toilets or wherever they were going, bumped into him and just got him to agree to do this. It's fucking mental. But yeah, that's Northerners for you. Um, Gremlins, if it's true. What? So are we getting another Gremlins? No way. um, no, it can't be true. Can't be. I don't know. Again, it looks like some dodgy ass trailers, if I'm honest. um, it's proper dodgy. Yeah, I remember when I used to work in Toys R Us years ago. We get a lot of famous people popping in, like the I say the street is Coronation Street and football players and stuff. And I'd always try and get an interview, get an autograph off them. I met quite a few actually. I think one of my favourite ones I ever met was Sean Wright Phillips. Such a great guy. He'd just come back from his like first England tour or England games. And I always remember he came in and picked up champion football manager or championship manager back in them days, and did Transformers or something on PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. We would run behind Paul Lake, Rocky style, when he was jogging. I'm not saying it was him, but I'm sure it was him. It was definitely one of the current players. It was so funny because you had like me, you know, my nana, my granddad, my grandma, my granddad, and everybody there because it was a whole family do, and they just couldn't figure out how they knew him or how he knew them. Sorry, but my dad's a right wind up merchant, and he was him and his mate are just two like thick as thieves, honestly, and they kept it going all night. It was so funny. I mean, I was a bit too young to know, but I always remember this guy coming over, and then my dad telling me the story later on. But yeah, um, he lived opposite our high school. Top bloke, yeah, and a lot of them were. I mean, I think the thing is nowadays, obviously, football's a lot more international and stuff in it. Whereas then it was, they were mainly local lads, and they didn't think twice about spending time with the supporters. I think some of them do nowadays, but not as much as they used to. Martin Green, yeah. I'll have to find out for definite who it was because my dad will still remember that story. Um, it's the first name that sprung to mind. I'm sure it was him. But yeah, I used to remember going to sort of. Sorry, I'm still eating. Going to like five-a-side games and stuff like that, and they'd always have some sort of celebrity person there. I say celebrity, it was like a keeper that City had for 5 years before or something. No, it's like the nowadays it'd be like the version of Nicky Weaver or something. Oh, Joanne. Um, but yeah, there was a lot more. They were in the community a lot more, I think, back then. Um, yeah, what was I saying? Gremlins, Gremlins 3. I'd like to see a Gremlins 3 because the first one's obviously classic, but the second one, I don't know. There was bits of it that were good. I was watching a stream earlier on, and I think the best way to describe sort of film like that would be, there was some memorable bits in it, but overall, generally forgettable. Really, the second one. Um, there's just bits that you would reference. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that bit, and I remember that bit." But other than that, the first one is always going to be the best. I always wanted like the gadget that the inventor dad had made. That was funny. That like the toothbrush on and stuff like that. I forget what it was called now. He did have an official name. Um, but yeah, it was classic. The first one. The second one was just a bit of a cash cow, uh, cash grab. They messed Gremlins 3 up by using too much CGI and not enough puppets. Yeah, quite possibly, Dave. I get what you're saying with that. We don't get them very often, but we still get the odd movie that's not completely CGI. Um, and you can always tell when the puppets because the quality's a lot better. It's like stop motion stuff, when you look at some of the stuff that's like Jason and the Argonauts and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff still holds up today, like because it wasn't just all CGI. I don't know. I remember when sort of Jurassic Park came in, and you're like, "Wow, look at this! Look at the graphics on that! Look how real they look!" And then everything just went to shit after that. You got people like Michael Bay overusing constant CGI. I mean, the only movies that are really sort of above and beyond nowadays, or when it comes to that sort of stuff, is things like Avatar. James Cameron stuff. Um, but yeah, they will do. They will. But it'll be. You're absolutely right. It'll all be CGI. Which is a shame. Hmm. If that were the case, I'd rather watch a Pixar movie. Hmm. It's just generally quiet in the chat tonight, guys. You need to give me some subjects you want me to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just going to be rambling on for another 10 minutes or so. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to send them across. I'll give you a second while I just enjoy a bit more of these things. I'll tell you an ITV series I watched a couple of years back now. I've got it over there on Blu-ray, which I quite enjoyed. Was that Bodyguard? I'd like to have seen another series of that. I might have to watch that again actually, because I did enjoy that. And that Cheat, that was a good one. Screw was a good one. This is England, where it was going on about Boris Johnson in the COVID years. Did anybody actually watch Mr. Robot all the way to the end? Because I got about 2 series in. What's your favourite movie with Carl Weathers? Oh, Carl Weathers, bless him, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. It's got to be Rocky. Rocky 2. I know he was in quite a few bits, but for me, he's always going to be Apollo Creed, 100%. But yeah, I say it's a bit of a shock. These people are dying at like 78, 80 plus in it, so they are old now. But what about yourself, Dave? What's your favourite Carl Weathers movie? Well, as I say that, I'm always double check stuff. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's been in, like I say, he's been in absolutely loads, hasn't he? Happy Gilmore. Yeah, that's another one. As what's he called? What did they call him in that? Chubbs. That was a one. His fake hand or arm, wasn't it? Fake hand. Yeah, he was good in that. Hmm. Bloody hell! So many movies that guy did. They did quite a few with Adam Sandler actually as well. Yeah. Probably Rocky. Met him. No way. Years ago at one of the first Comic Cons I went to. Wow, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I think there's a Comic Con in, I want to say May, June time. Is it Liverpool somewhere? I was hoping to try and get. I've never been to one, so I was hoping to try and get to one. But there's still time. But whether or not I can get tickets or not, I don't know. But I'd like to go and go to a Comic Con. I look at them, and I think I've looked a few times. It's like these people are there at Comic Con, and you're like, this standard ticket, like say 35 quid or whatever. If you want to meet someone, 200. Like what? Obviously they get paid for it, don't they? But got a photo with Dolph Lundgren as well. Bloody hell! I don't know how tall he is, but I get the feeling he's quite a big guy. I mean, I get that from Rocky, to be fair, but he looks like an absolute machine of a guy, Dolph Lundgren. and Universal Soldier. That's another good movie, Universal Soldier. At least the first one. Um, who was I wanted to? Who was it? At this, I think this Comic Con in London, in Liverpool, has got only because I can't think of her name off the top of my head. The Scarlet Witch. I think she's there. Olsen, is it? Well, I'd love to meet her, but I think that's it again about 200 and odd quid just to meet her. Ridiculous, man. Uh, not as tall as you'd think, really. No way have you met Schwarzenegger, Dave? Man, that's amazing. Look, that's awesome. He'd be one up for the tick list. Definitely, I'd love to meet him. Has anybody else met anybody? Liverpool one is great. Going to do some smaller ones this year. We got a photo with David Harper when we went. No way, that's cool. Um, yeah, because they do like smaller ones, don't they? Is that like the biggest one then, Liverpool? Do you think? Because there's a lot of people from down south that, especially in people I've seen on whatnot and stuff, they're going there. So it must be big enough to travel to. But I'd love to save a bit of money up, get a bit of money together, and then go to one of those. Because I'd spend a fortune on the stuff that's there, I would imagine. Um, Plus, it'd be awesome to see everybody dressed up. That'd be well cool. Like one of the best, but like most bizarre places, events I've ever been to was when we went to see Rocky Horror. I should have known really, but when we went, we got there and everyone obviously was dressed up in character because that's one of the things you do with that stage show. But it's so bizarre. I mean, you can imagine sort of just walking down from like, on your way home from work in the middle of Nottingham, like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and you've got people dressed up as a transsexual from Transylvania, like just wandering down the street in fishnets. It's really bizarre, but such a great stage show to go to. That Duff and Van Damme were together at the last year. No way. Met Arnold at a book signing about 12 years ago. My mum stood in front of his car to stop him leaving. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You're not going anywhere until we fucking met you. Your mum was taking a bullet for you there, mate. I'm telling you. You could have just ploughed her down. But yeah, brave woman. That's amazing. Just jump in front and block them off. What sort of car did he have? I bet it was flashy as fuck. Either that or he was like being driven by a chauffeur. But yeah, I'm just sort of TV stars are the ones I've met. I think everyone in Manchester's met Ricky Hatton. That's probably about right. But no one massively famous I haven't met. Nice one, Mum. Yeah, exactly, Queenie. That's what I would be like. Mum, either that. Did you think she had a choice, or do you reckon he just pushed her in the way so that he could get round to the side of the car? Like, stand there, and then just run round. But realistically, I bet his mum didn't have a sodding clue what was going on until she got pushed in front of the car. Looking brilliant. Oh, that's amazing. But yeah, like I say, I'd like to go to one of the Comic Cons, and I'm hoping we can get to Liverpool one. Because obviously, if it's Liverpool, then I can pop in and annoy Steve on the way, unless he's going. See if Liner lets him spend a bit of money, or whether he'll spend a bit of money that's not on a car, and get some collectibles at the Comic Con. mind you, his cars are getting smaller, so he's got less room to fit anything in. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night tonight. We've done an hour and 30 minutes. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to turn into a pumpkin like Steve does at 9 o'clock. But we've got things. We're going to have to watch blooming Love Island and then catch up with The Apprentice. Ran over by Terminator. Yeah, can you imagine? That would be amazing, Dave. That would be hilarious. That's such a tagline for like a newspaper, in it. Ran over by the Terminator. Brilliant. But honestly, credit to your mum for being brave and standing up to the Terminator while you got your picture signed and while you got a picture with him, and reluctantly he had a conversation with you, I would imagine. But yeah, guys. So thank you so much to you guys for being here tonight and supporting me. Hopefully, I've kept you entertained. I'm hoping Big Steve's back next week, and I'm hoping he's having a really good time listening to all the greatest hits from musicals at his holiday destination. But thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourself. See you next week. Bye bye. And I'm still here. 1 minute. Might as well do it right, Anna. Right. Bye.